is about a day trip, this video. What you can see now is the grass and the plains of the area near where we're staying of Kanab. We're headed this day up the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and I just thought I'd show you what the drive was like. There's not a real lot in here about the north rim itself. It's just about the drive, so you can see what the American road network's like. This is one of the poorer condition roads compared to the freeways and things, but it's still an excellent road compared to what we get in a lot of places in Australia. We can see we've come off the plains now and we're up into the forest. It's starting to get a little bit more wooded, and we're headed up towards the entrance to the North Rim Grand Canyon National Park. And you'll notice we've got the green green evergreen pines, and in amongst them sprinkled there are these yellow deciduous, which being autumn are now starting to colour off before they lose their leaves, and it made the view just so spectacular. And we came around the corner to these meadows, and these meadows just go for miles. Beautiful wide open ground, but look at those green and gold trees in the background. It was absolutely breathtaking to come around the corner and see these green forests with the yellow patches through them, or golden yellow patches. Just made it for such a beautiful drive. We're coming up close towards the National Park entrance now, through some more meadows. We were looking for the buffalo there, the bison, but we couldn't find any. There just wasn't any about. They must have been in the trees. But look at the green and gold trees there. It was just glorious, it really was. The weather was absolutely perfect. It can get a little bit windy. We've had a couple of windy days, and it can actually drop below freezing overnight. But we've had a really good run here this last fortnight here in Kanab, or Fredonia, which is actually the town where we are. But anyway, we're winding up here, as I mentioned, because this whole area is plateau after plateau after plateau. You go up, it's like going up a staircase. You go up one plateau and then up the next one, then up the next one, then you've got to go back down and back down again. So there's a lot of windy roads, a lot of climbing and a lot of going down. And this day there were people parked everywhere. These people are parked at the head of the Kaibab Trail to go walkies. And up here, just past this motorhome, just have a look at the car on the right. So hard up for places, he was nearly off the cliff just there. But anyway, we're just coming now in towards the village. There's one or two more corners, I think, and we're into the village, which is known as North Rim. There's a lodge there and tourist facilities. And on this particular day, as I said, there were cars everywhere. But it was a beautiful drive, and we'll get out in a minute and have a bit of a look. Although I won't show that on the video, you will see a couple of stills taken from our photos. This is the last corner, I think, from memory. Yeah, another big sweeping corner. Yep, round the corner. Little house you can see in there, that was one of the staff residences. They're too far to commute to and from work, so there's houses for residents. And here we are at the North Rim near Angel Bright Point, looking across to the South Rim there. Beautiful canyon. The sights are just stunning. That's the lodge on the right, and there's a lookout right dead centre of that picture. And you walk out to Angel Bright Point along this little narrow bitumen path, and it is hairy. My knees got weak more than once or twice walking over here. And you look down and you have a vertical drop for several hundred feet. It's just a magnificent walk, but a very scary one. There again is that canyon again, looking down over the South Rim. We've left it now and we're headed back home. We're going down another valley, as I said, from mesa to mesa, from plateau to plateau, and we're going down into this valley, and we'll go along those cliffs there, which is called the Vermilion Cliffs. We go for about 20 miles up Glen Canyon, past the Colorado River. At Navajo Bridge we turn right and come back along where we've just been, but this time on the other side of the river for a number of miles. You can see the gorge of the river in front of us, before we then turn left and go up another mountain range to get up on top of that plateau you can see in front of us right off in the distance there. It's a long drive. I think all up that day we did about 180 miles, but it was a really good day. You can go around this sweeping bend again. The grade there, if you can read it, was an 8% grade, so that's a fairly average sort of a hill round here. We've seen them up as high as 12%. Anyway, there's the plateaus in top, which is our target, and we're going along now underneath some cliffs. You'll see from where the Indian traders are in another couple of seconds, looking down onto this exact same spot, and the road's up there on the ridge that we've got to now get up to. We got up here and turned left, and now we're going up this road.
This is a little bit of the road that Gary and I came up the other day with the trailer on the back. Goes from Flagstaff up to Page and over to Kanab. This time we don't have that. We've been out to North Rim and we're on our way back to where we're staying near Kebab. Sorry, I mean Kanab. I'm getting hungry. We'll stop up here shortly where we stopped the other day for some more pictures, but it's a beautiful drive. I told you we'd stop. There's some of the stalls from the other day. We go around. That's where we've been, right over. Flagstaff's that away. And we've driven up. You can see a bus that's coming all that way.
Well, moving on a bit now, we've come up over the top of the ridge on the top of yet another plateau, and we move around winding. Notice there's not many trees here. This really is desert country, and because the altitude also makes it difficult for a lot of plants, but it has its own features. But it was just a beautiful, everything was from white through yellows and oranges to reds, and you get these long straights over the flat plateaus, and then down you come again. And now we're heading back down to that same Colorado River again. The waterway you can see on the left, that was the lake, which was there when they dammed off the Colorado River, and at the township of Page, which is where we're headed to. You can see how they got the plateaus. That there was Page in the middle there, in the middle of that shot. But before we get to Page, we'll go down another little bit more winding, long stretches. It's getting dark in the afternoon, getting dark in some of the valleys on some of the mesas. And that area there, that's the Horseshoe Bend. You park there, you go over that ridge, down the other side. It's about a 20-minute walk and you're at Horseshoe Bend. Trouble is, it costs you $5 to $10 to park there, and those bastards are making a mozza. And they don't seem to be putting anything into making the path all that good, but it's still worth the trip. Anyway, we're down the bottom at Page now, the bottom of this particular mesa at any rate. The sun's getting a bit lower, and we come to the bridge, and this bridge over the Colorado is right where the dam is here on Lake Powell. You'll see it here, Glen Canyon Gorge, where the river is. That's the lake side, and now you'll start to see the dam on the bottom of the picture. Now they use the dam for hydroelectricity, so there's a power station on the other side. I think we'll get a quick glimpse of that in a second. That's looking the other way, and up on that there's the dam again, and we'll swing around to the left and you'll see the hydroelectric station, or at least the power masts and everything of it. Anyway, we went along Lake Powell, climbing yet again up to the top of another mesa, and we followed along. It was getting dark, so we couldn't do a lot more videoing, but that was pretty much it for the day. About 175 to 180 miles to get home, and it was a really, really great day out. So I hope you've now seen what the American roads have got to offer.